My name is Claire. I'm 32 years old, and I work as a teacher at a local school in a peaceful town where the classrooms echo with laughter, curiosity, and innocent questions. And every morning when I walk into school, I feel a quiet joy, because teaching isn't just a job for me. It's a part of who I am, and my students, they are bright, energetic, full of questions and wonder, always eager to learn, and I feel lucky to have them. And everything in my life felt steady until last year when I met Nathan, a fellow teacher who had recently joined the school to teach math. Tall, calm, always smiling, and with a sense of humor that made even the dullest day feel light. And what started as casual conversations during lunch hours soon turned into longer chats in the hallway, shared glances across staff meetings, and walks outside the school building that felt like something more than just friendship. And slowly, I started enjoying his company more than I realized. I looked forward to seeing him, talking to him, laughing with him, and somewhere in my heart, I began to believe that maybe he liked me too, because there was this unspoken connection between us, a comfort, a spark. But what I didn't know, what he never once mentioned, was that he was already married, because Nathan never spoke about his personal life, never mentioned a wife, and there was no wedding ring, no sign, no reason for me to question him. And I, trusting what I saw, kept letting myself fall deeper into this illusion, until one evening, out of nowhere, I received a phone call from an unknown number and picked up curiously, only to hear a woman's voice on the other end saying, "Hello, is this Claire?" And when I replied yes, feeling a strange nervousness creep into my voice, she continued, "My name is Emily. I'm Nathan's wife. We've been married for 5 years." And that one sentence hit me like a train. My heart dropped, and I stuttered, "What?" in disbelief. And she didn't sound angry, just broken, her voice trembling as she said, "I saw you and Nathan together. I've known something is going on, and I just want to protect my family. I love him, Claire. I don't want to lose him." And as I stood there listening, I felt this heavy wave of confusion and guilt crashing over me because I genuinely had no idea. And I asked, "Why are you calling me?" And she said, "Because I want you to know the truth. He's married, and we've shared a life for years." And before I could even fully process that, she sent me photos. Pictures of them together on holidays, at home, smiling, happy. And I stared at them in shock, eyes brimming with tears as I remembered every conversation I had with Nathan, every laugh, every moment that now felt like a lie. And I said quietly, "He never told me. I didn't know." And she replied, "I'm not here to fight with you, Claire. I just needed you to know. I need your help. I don't want to lose my family." And her words stayed in my heart. Her pain was real, and suddenly I saw everything from her eyes, and though it hurt, I said, "I'll step away," because I didn't want to be the reason for someone else's pain. I didn't want to break a family that I never meant to interfere with. And the next day, at school when I saw Nathan, he smiled at me like nothing had changed and said, "Hi, Claire." And my heart raced with a mixture of sadness, anger, and heartbreak as I replied, "Can we talk?" And we stepped aside into a quiet corner where I looked him straight in the eyes and said, "Emily called me. She told me everything." And his smile faded. His expression turned to guilt and fear as he said, "I should have told you. I was scared." And I snapped back, "Scared of what? Telling me the truth? Or scared of losing both of us?" And he said, "I didn't want to lose you, Claire. I care about you. I really do. I love you." And those words stung, because if love was real, it wouldn't come wrapped in lies. And I replied, But you already have someone. Your wife. You should have made a choice before dragging me into this. And he looked down and said, I know I messed up. I didn't plan for this to happen. And I whispered, It's too late now, Nathan. I can't be a part of this. And when he said, Please don't leave me, Claire, I need you, I looked at him with teary eyes and said, But you already have Emily. She's the one who's been fighting for you while you were busy lying to both of us. And when he said, I love you, I felt the ache in my chest deepen, and I said, Then choose. But know this, I won't wait for you. And I walked away, tears falling silently, as I tried to gather the pieces of my heart and remind myself that I wasn't the one who betrayed anyone. And though the days after were painful, I buried myself in work, spent time with friends, avoided every space Nathan walked into. But his memory kept lingering, and one evening, sitting alone at home feeling lost and broken, I thought of all the moments we shared. The laughter, the silence, the way I believed it all was real. And I missed him, yes. But I also knew I had to move forward, and I decided to talk to my best friend Grace, someone who always listened without judgment and gave the kind of advice that came from the heart. And when we met at our usual cafe, and I poured out everything about Nathan, about Emily, about the betrayal and the guilt, she held my hand and said, Claire, you did the right thing. You had no idea. And once you knew, you stepped away. That takes courage. And I nodded, wiping my tears, slowly realizing that strength isn't about holding on. It's about knowing when to let go. And a week later, I called Emily again and asked if we could meet. And we met at a park where the trees swayed gently in the breeze, and I looked at her, really looked at her, a woman hurting just like me. And I said, I just wanted to see how you're doing. And she said, It's hard. I don't know what to do, Claire. I love him, but I'm scared he doesn't love me anymore. And I told her, You're stronger than you know, Emily. Talk to him. Ask him to be honest. Whatever happens, you deserve truth. And she looked at me with gratitude in her eyes and said, Thank you for understanding, for not becoming my enemy. And I replied, We were both lied to by the same man. We're not enemies. And in that moment, I felt this unexpected bond form between two women on opposite sides of the same story. And I knew I needed to leave. Leave the town, the school, everything that reminded me of Nathan. So I applied for a transfer, packed my bags, and on the final day, I stood in my classroom as my students hugged me and said, We'll miss you, Miss Claire. And I smiled through my tears and said, I'll miss you all more than you'll ever know. And then I left, heart heavy, but ready. And as I settled into a new city, a new routine, a new version of myself, I slowly started to heal, found a new school with kind teachers, made new friends, and weeks later, I got a message from Emily saying, I talked to Nathan. We're trying to fix our marriage. And I replied, I'm happy for you truly. And she wrote back, Thank you for being the kind of woman who walked away with grace. And in that moment, I felt proud. Not because it didn't hurt, but because I had chosen the right path. And one peaceful evening, as I walked alone in the park under a sky painted with soft gold and pink, I felt a quiet peace settle in my chest. And I realized that love, real love, doesn't lie, doesn't hide, and someday it'll come into my life, not as a secret, but as a promise. And until then, I'll keep walking forward, heart healed, head high, and soul wide open to whatever life brings next. If you enjoy the story, please like, subscribe, and share.